Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world of Wayne. Don't I look sophisticated today? And it is a sophisticated day because today I'm going to be doing pack 7 of the Agora Models release of build the Corvette Stingray. Now, if you look at the instructions for this over on the Agora Models website, there is absolutely tons to do, but it does actually all get compressed down because what we're actually doing today is we're going to be putting all the electrics in it. I do love the electric build days. And we are also going to be putting the floor pan in it. I have got my batteries ready because we get to test that as well. We're going to be building a remote control as well. So quite a little bit going on in today's build. But if you do want to get this for yourself, I have put a link in the video description and there's also a QR code on the screen because you know I love a QR code. But without further ado, let's get cracking. So the first thing we need are stage 50 parts and they're all in this box here. As you can see, we've got a power switch in here and we've got a circuit board. Now before we tackle any of that, let me just open these cables up and you will see that I've got these two little details here. And these are engine mount plugs, which are going to need to go in the engine. Now I've got no idea if you can see these, but they actually go into the holes that we can see just here. And there's some on the other side there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them in. I'm going to put them in with my tweezers here and show you what these look like. You know what? This is so hard to see. I've got my phone out. So you see those gaps, that side and that side there? That's where I'm going to be putting these. Now this is a tricky thing to do, but what I'm doing is I'm putting them in with lots of tweezers. So one to line it up. And one to press it into place like that. So when you look at them now, they're both in place just like that. Next thing to do is to take these two cables. So I've got the switch. And again, just checking the terminals are okay. That looks perfect. And then I've got an extension for the switch, which is this lead here. And I'm going to be plugging both of these in. So I just need the male and female ends here. And they go together just like that. Now we get to look at the circuit board. Let's get this open. And this is what the circuit board is looking like. And I'm going to mount this in the car. So bringing that over here, what I want to do is ensure that this wire is kept out of the way of where the circuit board's going to be going. And it's going to be going in this way here and sitting on top of the 4 holes that we've got here. Just like that. Now that's going to be held in place with EP screws in these 4 holes. Once you've got the 2 corners lined up there, it's easy to get these in. Now the switch cable that we just assembled there with the extension lead, this one here, that needs to plug into this socket just here behind the filler pipe. So make sure it's around the right way and plug that in. Perfect. That socket is actually socket S. Now this cable here coming from the speaker is going to go into socket C, which is this one here. And just push that in, make sure it's in all the way there. And finally, the plug that we got here, which is coming from the battery box, is going to go into point D, which is this one just here. I'm just tidying that wire up, and that's in as well. So we've connected 3 cables up there. Now taking the power switch, I'm going to route that underneath this filler cap here, and I'm going to be routing it round to the hole that you can see probably on the top camera just there. This is going to be sitting in just like that, and it's held in with LP screws. So 2 of these, 1 and 2, and that is the switch in place. Just checking that works okay. That works perfect. Now at this moment in time, it doesn't want us to do any wire tidy or anything on there, so I'm going to leave that exactly as it is because that's all there is to do in that stage. Now, if you're a fan of electrics, you're going to love stage 51. This is stage 51 here. And check how many cables, lights, switches, every electric you can shake a stick at in this bag. So, let's get all of these out. Now, I'm one of these people that don't like keeping things wrapped up like this. So, I am just going to open them all out and straighten them all out. Like this. Now this is going to take a while to do. I mean, check that out. I'm guessing that's for the instrument panel. But it does give you a chance to check all the connections And believe me, in the long run, it's going to make your life easier. This is going to be a testament to how much electrics are in this vehicle with lights and switches and stuff. This is one of those builds which have a lot of them. Some 1.8 car builds don't have many. This one has loads. So they're all straightened out, and the heart of this cable is this one here, which is a ribbon cable, and on the end of it we have got all of these labels marked from A1 all the way up to A6. So the easiest way to do this is just to connect the like cables together. So we've got A1 here, which is a red and black. As you see here, we've got its partner, which is also an A1, which is going to go into this bladed connector just here. And this just slots in like that. So that's the first cable in. Now on this end of the A1 cable, we have two other A1 cables which have got an LED at the end like this. Now they can be plugged into either one, but there's two of these to plug in. So one here, and here's the other one here, which is just going to go into the other side. So we've now got cable A2, which is green and yellow. This is the A2 part of the ribbon cable here, and again this is just going to slot together. Now I've got this A3 cable, which is actually an extension cable. So what we're going to do is find A3 on here, which is this one here, and plug the extension cable into one end, just like that. On the other end of this, which is a female connection, we do have this instrument panel one, which is also labelled A3, and that's just going to go in the end here. Again, I've got an extension cable A4, which is green and yellow. I'll be plugging the male end into the female end of the splitter. And then the other side of A4 is going to have this LED light. I've then got an A5 extension cable plugging into A5 on the splitter, and then the other side here has got a very long A5 cable which goes in there. Again, this has got an LED on the end of it. I've got A6, which is plugging into the A6 here. Again, a green and yellow cable. This is just an extension cable, which is going to plug into an LED here, which is A6. And then the last two leads I've got actually go to A2. You remember we plugged this in at the start. We've got two extensions coming on here. I'm just plugging them into these LED lights here. And again, it doesn't matter which one we put in. But that is every single cable now connected to this main ribbon cable here. So bringing the car over, I'm now at a point that we can plug this ribbon cable in. So with the red wire up my side, this is going to go in this way, just like that. And I've got all of these wires coming out of this side here. And that is all there is to do in that stage. Now we are not finished yet, because we've got stage 52. Now in stage 52, we've got these plastic chocks, which will lift the frame of the body up and just alleviate the pressure from the suspension and the wheels. Keep them to one side for a second. And look, we got more cables. And in a similar fashion to what I did last time, I'm just going to straighten these out. And as you can see, we do have a smaller splitter cable here, or ribbon cable with a smaller end. And this is just a case of just, again, plugging the likewise things into these here. So I've got two little red lights on this one, which are labelled B1, so they're going to go with B1. Slide these in, just like that. Then I've got B2, which is going to go into the end here. This has got a single light on it. And then the last one I've got is B3, which again has got these two red lights on, which just go in like that. So that's that one connected as well. Once again, bring the car over. Not too hard to see where this is going. Just make sure you put it round the right way. This is just going into this point just here. Like that. And that is all there is to do in that stage. So in stage 53, we're going to want to test all these, which means we're going to be operating a remote control. And we are actually going to be building the remote control. Now you do see we have got a battery box in here. I have got a whole collection of cell batteries. I'll let you know which one it needs in a second. Okay, so first thing to do is we're going to be putting this rubber keypad into the remote. There is a hole just down the bottom there to align that. So that goes in like that. We've got the control board to put on top. And again, we're lining up this hole there, like that. And then we just get to put the back on over here like this. That's going to hold all of that together. Clips in perfectly. So all of these buttons now are available to press. Now, we are going to need a 2032 battery. Let me just grab one of them. Now in the workshop, I always have these eventualities, so I keep loads of cell batteries on hand for when I need them. But as I said, this is a 2032 battery, which is impossible to get out of here. That was hard. Anyway, so that looks like that. I'm going to be putting this in this way round into this clip. So it's fitting flat in there like that. And then this is just going to be sliding in this way, like this here. Perfect. Now, probably best on the top camera, just so you know what they do. Number 1, turns on all the lights and sound functions. Number 2 is increase volume. Number 3 is decrease volume. Number 4 is the start ignition sound. Number 5 is play acceleration sound. Number 6 plays the horn. Number 7 is the headlights going up and down. Number 8 cycles through the headlights. Number 9, turn interior light on and off. Number 10 is the left turn indicator. Number 11 is the right turn indicator. And number 12 is the stop lights. All controlled by the remote. I think that's brilliant. Now, even though we've now created that, we can't test it because I haven't put any batteries in here. So to put the batteries in, I need to turn this upside down. So I'm making sure I'm not pinning any wires. And I'm just turning this upside down here like that. Now I lift up the spare wheel section here, which you have to push this in and lift it up. Get a screwdriver in here to take the spare wheel out. The batteries, as you can see, are going to go in here, and it takes 3 AAA batteries. I just need to use my flathead screwdriver just to take this plate out here. That will enable me to get underneath this, like that. Put the batteries in. 1, 2, and 3, and then just put all of this back together. Put the wheel back in, secure that into place, close the cover, and that's in place. Turn that over. So we're now in a position to test all these electrics. So I'm going to turn it on by clicking the switch here, and I'm going to try and bring all of these wires over so you can kind of see what's going on. So we're going to be looking at the wires just here. So the first one I'm going to press is the headlights here. And when I push them on, we've got this wire coming on. The instrument panels come on. We've got some other wires here which are lit up as well. Now, there is different modes for the headlights. So every time I press that, they're going to get brighter or turn off. Or we've even got these ones just turned on, which I'm guessing are like fog lights or something. But the headlights are working absolutely fine, as you can see all those on the side camera. Matter of fact, let's turn this light off. You can probably see them all lighting up there. This one, these ones over here. And the more I press it, the more different ones turn off and on, as you can see. Excellent. So now happy with that. Now this button here is the interior light. So when I press that, we should have an interior light come on. And that's just there. So off and on. Perfect. So we're now going to try the left indicator, which is this one here. So we've got these two coming on. And I've also got, if I can show you, I'm guessing there for the back. And I'm guessing this is the indicator for the front. So that's the left ones working. And in the same token, I'm going to try the right ones. So press the right button here. And as you can see, I've got the one here, which I'm guessing is probably for the front. And then I've got the two back ones here blinking as well. So the indicators are working. Now this is for the stop light. So when I press this, the stop lights will come on. Now this is one of these ones where I press the stop lights and then they come on, and when I take my finger off the button, they turn off. As you can see. On, off. Perfect. Now if I turn the headlights on again, which is just all of these wires that you see coming on there, when I press the power button, this top one here, they should all turn off. Just like that. Now we're going to test the sound of the model. So that's by pressing this key here is going to start the engine. Hopefully you can hear that. And I can turn that up and down with the volume control here. It makes a ding noise when it goes up and a ding noise when you turn it down. Excellent, that works. While the ignition noise is playing, so I'll start that again. If we press this button here, the accelerator should come on. So let's turn the volume up and press the accelerator. Again, you need to keep your finger on that for that to make the noise. If you just press it, it doesn't do anything. You need to keep your finger on and it revs the engine. We've also got the horn, as you can hear. That's the horn. And again, we can turn it all off by pressing the power button and also flicking the switch underneath. And that's just isolated everything. So once again, a successful test in a build where I put all the wires together, and at the moment, everything's working. But that's all there is to do in that stage. I have an enormous amount of gratification for the next stage because we've got the inner floor pan and we're going to actually apply the carpet to it. Now this is one of those few 1.8 builds where the carpet is supplied with the build. I think this is brilliant. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to be putting this left side of the carpet in place here. And to put the carpet in, all you do is you take the adhesive off the back and you just fold it around about that far down. Line up the carpet on this side here. So you got that perfectly where you want that to go. And I'm lining up the top edge here. And slowly take off the backing as you work to getting this down the full length of this centre tunnel. And then fold it in with your finger. It's a lovely feeling felt, this is. And there you go. That's one side in there. I'm then going to be putting the main part of the carpet in just here, which is going to go in just as a dry fit here like that. So see how that lines up at this edge here. That's where I'm going to start this. And in a similar way, I'm just going to get this in. Lovely and smooth in there. So now that's looking like that. Excellent. Do the same on the other side. Again, you'll find this easier if you align this top edge up here. If you align the top edge, it sort of takes care of everything else here. I'm using my finger to ensure that that's flat on the top there. And then that's got in perfectly just on that side there. And then finally, we're going to put the last piece in just here. And again, just pull that like that. That's gone in absolutely perfect. And that is the carpet in place. Excellent. That's all there is to do in that stage. That leads me on to stage 55, where we've got a bit more carpet here. And we've got a rear side panel as well. Let's get all of this out. So if this is the side panel here, we're actually going to carpet the whole of the inside of this. So the first bit I need looks like this, and that's just going to go along this edge here. Now because this is quite small, you would be tempted to just take the whole of the backing off. But I still go by the whole technique of just putting it a little way in. Just helps to line up that edge and the top. And then I use my finger to guide the top. And if the top's correct, sort of take care of the bottom for me. Just like that. So that's that one in. This piece here is going to go over this center column just like that there. So let's get that one in. Guiding that as I go. Ensuring this hole here is over the hole where I need it to be. I've then got this side piece just going into here like this. Same technique. You can get a nice smooth edge around there. I mean, check that out. That looks great. I've got this piece here, which is just going into the gap down there. So I'll get this one in. This one actually requires a little bit of help with my flat end screwdriver just to get this into the channel down here. And then finally, the last piece I've got here is just going to go on the other side. And the last piece going in here, I'm using tweezers to actually help me on this. Use whatever you need to use. Just to line this up perfectly to where it goes. That's in place like that. And that's all completed. Carpeted the whole of that arch. Now if I just turn over what we created before onto this side, turn this over here, this is going to be going on here just like that there. It's actually held in with one of these IP screws. And I want to make sure that this goes in straight, so I'm doing this quite slowly to get this in. And there you go. That's in, and that's all there is to do in that stage. In stage 56, we're going to be doing exactly the same thing. So what I'm going to do is just carpet this now and show you what it looks like when it's all carpeted. And when that's done, that's the other one completed just there. Once again, this is just going to be going into this side here, held in with the IP screw. So now that looks like that, and that's all there is to do in that stage. In stage 57, we've got a rear panel now that we need to carpet up. I do think this is the first build that I think we've ever had to do this on. We're going to be putting it on this way here. And this time I'm going to make sure that the bottom section here is lined up. And by lining up the bottom, it should line everything else up. And when that's in place, it should look like that. Bringing this section up here, this is going to go over the points just here and on this side over here, like that, with the carpet facing towards the inside, held in with JP screws. Them in, but not tighten them up fully until I've got this completely in place. And then I will make this tight. And there you go. That's how that should look. Now we've got a rear panel here, which is labelled L and R. And this is going to be going into the points just here and here. So with the L on this side, this is going to go in just like that there. That's held in with MP screws. Hold it from the underside when you put that in. One that side and this side here. And that's basically reinforced this whole back section now. But that is all there is to do in that stage. In stage 58, this is the penultimate stage, we're going to be fitting the left side panel. And again, look, more carpet. Now this is looking just like this. And once again, I'm going to put the carpet in place. This is the first piece here. And this is going to be going along this edge. Then we've got this long bottom piece, which is going along here there. So that's in like that. Then the last piece just going on the end there. Easier one, this one, because we do have a locating lug. So as long as that's in place, it's going to line everything else up just like that. Now again, bringing this over, this is just going to be going into the points just here and here on the floor. Just like that. And it's going to be held in with 3 MP screws. And when that's in, that should look like that. And that's all there is to do in that stage. So it's not too hard to see what we're going to be doing in the last stage. Exactly the same thing. So again, I'm going to carpet this side up. And there we go, that's that one carpeted up. And then in the same way, this is going to be going into here, held in with the MP screws. This is the last screw just going in here. And there you go. All of that carpeting. Gosh, should be a carpet fitter looking at that. That's all there is to do in that stage. That's all there is to do in that pack. I really enjoyed that pack, not only for the electrics, but by putting all of that carpet in here, which does really kick this off. Now, if we were to put this in the car, it's going to go in kind of like this, I'm guessing. There, I'm not quite sure what we do with this switch cable. Perhaps that just goes around there. But that is how that's going to look when it's in. Absolutely love it. If you want to get this for yourself, I've put a link in the video description, and there's also a QR code on the screen. But I really hope you liked that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.